everyone. Welcome to episode 125 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph, and this week's topic is Best Movie Snacks. Yes, we're keeping it light this episode. And by light, I mean the feel of this episode, not the calorie intake of the subject matter. We may be referring to what can feed a small family for a month. The movie snack. You know, the things we know as treats to enjoy while things are blowing up on screen as these things are blowing us up. We are talking about those delicious, overpriced morsels that are better enjoyed in the dark, and the more noise they make in your mouth, the more elation they give.
What the fuck are we going? Where are we going?
I'm going. So wait a minute. I'm going. Okay, don't be.
I mean,
salty.
you're talking about blow. You said blow a lot, and then we're and something about being in the dark now. What the fuck?
Far too many dates at the movie theater, Randall. The cheap dollar one.
This monologue is inspired by Joseph's date playlist. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. And speaking of salty, we'll cover everything from the king of snacks, popcorn, to our favorite candies. M&Ms are always delicious during intense horror films, as we know. Nothing like discreetly wiped brown streaks in the front of your pants. We'll also talk beverages. You know, the kind that for 30 cents more can send you to an infirmary. We'll talk everything from bite-sized delectables to full-course meals on this episode, as this week, Formidable Opponents debate and discuss best movie snacks. I'm sorry, with me as always are two guys who still wear their Janko jeans just to sneak in quarter-pound combos into the movies. Bob and Joseph, how are you guys?
That was a mouthful, sir. That was a mouthful.
I could not get through that damn monologue.
Snacks. I hated to say it was snacks. We're going to talk snacks.
We're going to talk about snacks like with
Snacks,
little
movie snacks.
piano.
Jinko jeans are
piano
back,
moves.
baby. Bring them back. I'm going to bring them back. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm in a
tired,
good mood
tired.
right now.
Sunburn.
Tired.
but-
Yeah,
but
definitely
good.
tired. Yeah. August has been a kick in the ass. What about you, Joseph?
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, a lot of work. Pretty busy with everything that's going on now. I mean, I know you guys are busy with back to,
Back to
school,
work and everything.
back to
yeah.
work and whatnot. But yeah, dude, it's just been but surprisingly, this month has gone by so fast. I mean, we're already what's the next? This week is the last week of
Last week of August.
right?
Thanks
Jeez.
God. Yes.
That's
Dang.
crazy, dude.
Yes.
I feel like it flew by.
I will say this for those of you, for our listeners, you might notice that we've been updating less frequently. We've been going every other week instead of every week. We're doing that because we've had such a busy summer with school, with work, our kids' school, I should say, promotions. A lot of good things have happened to us this summer. So bear with us. We'll get back on track sometime down the line. But now, yeah, maybe. But for now, we're keeping it light. We're talking about movie snacks. It's something that we've been wanting to talk about for a while. When I say movie snacks, what comes to your mind, guys? What is like your go-tos? What do you enjoy? What memories do you have?
I mean, I'm not going to talk about memories of food that I ate in a fucking theater, but I mean, the go-to, you're talking about the go-to.
Just kill this episode.
It's popcorn. Discuss your first sexual experience with popcorn in a movie theater. Jesus Christ. It's popcorn, man. It's popcorn. Like that is the number one. That's usually the go-to for most people. I'm not a big, and I'm sure, I want to get y'all's opinion on this. I'm not a big, let me add an extra 8 fucking pumps of butter to my popcorn. I'm not
Like,
that
yeah,
good.
like
No,
I don't
I don't
understand
put butter,
that one
no.
bit. Like, what?
Yeah,
the
I
fuck
don't
is
like that at all. It's not even fucking real butter, dude.
It's not
in the damn-
Have you ever
It's not
seen?
butter.
Have
It's
you ever
cold
seen,
liquid.
have you ever seen these maniacs who put a straw into their popcorn and then
Oh
pump the
my
butter
God,
through
no.
the
Yeah.
straw
So it
so it could
fucking
soak
builds
in the
up.
so it builds up on the
What
bottom?
the fuck is wrong?
I'm
I mean,
like-
great. Yeah, that's very creative, but they're probably sociopaths.
One of the theaters we frequent, my family and I, they have free. Oh, I mean, the refills are manual. Like, so you go in there.
And Manuel serves them también.
And manual serves, yeah. I just work here, sir. Anyway, yeah. So you go to these pumps, and it'll like they're like dispensers, and they like dispense popcorn, and you get to do it by yourself. So it's like we're giving people a license just to not stop eating this shit.
I mean, well, fuck, if you're spending $20 on a bucket of popcorn, you better go get the free refill, goddammit. You better make it worth it. Got to be worth it, man.
Go ahead, Joseph.
No, it's just because, but obviously, like, okay, we're gonna have fun today. We're gonna talk about movie snacks. So, Just bear with us, people. We're like we said, we're a little bit busy, and we just we wanted to give you something to have fun with, I guess.
Put in your mouth.
Yeah, to put in your mouth. But I just wanted to comment on and because this is going to be just a whatever episode, right? I just want to comment on the fact that we are all three of us of Mexican descent. We're Mexican. Obviously we're Americans, if whatever. But our culture and our ancestors. But we all still have.
Randall says he's Hispanic.
But for some reason, all three of us still have the default Mexicano voice, which is where I don't know, sir. I just work. And I find it hilarious that we will all still do that no matter.
Yes, we come from a long line of Aztec warriors. Don't be fooled. If they can see that we're doing a podcast now, they're like, "What the fuck did we?"
I know, and our tidy whities. Fuck.
But guys, going back to popcorn, are we all in agreement that popcorn is the undisputed king of movie snacks? Now, before you answer that, we were talking a little bit, and normally our format of each episode is that we all defend our selection. We're doing things a little different now, folks. We're just asking questions on this one. We're keeping it loose. We're keeping it light because we know when we say best movie snack, everybody's going to go to popcorn. And it would be foolish of us to try and select 2 or 3 different items that could surpass the king of all movie snacks. But are we in agreement that it is the king of movie snacks?
No, I was going to say, I believe it is just because, and it's not so much that it obviously tastes good. We all enjoy popcorn, I think. I'd say at least, I know there's a small percentage of people out there that just aren't into popcorn, and I don't understand that. Maybe you're the sociopath, but I think it's not so much that it tastes. What makes it, I guess, the king is one, its taste, but two, I think why the fuck am I defending popcorn? I'm going on.
What to put it in your mouth? It's so good.
It's convenient. It's convenient. It's convenient. It's quick and it's easy and it's good. There's not much of a mess. I guess
that's stuck in your teeth, though.
I guess it just kind of it adds. Yeah, that's the bitch, though.
Okay, so let me throw this out there. So, what is the best combo that goes with your popcorn? So, like, I'm gonna throw out a few things like. When you can't just have popcorn by yourself. I mean, you could. I mean, some people add, gallon of fucking butter. I prefer pickles or even sliced jalapenos. We're from Texas and we're from South Texas, so sliced jalapenos are a thing. With popcorn, amazing shit. I've even had it with bunch of crunch with popcorn, chocolate with popcorn. It goes. It's good shit. Well, is there like anything y'all like to have with your popcorn, or is it just straight up popcorn and a drink?
Is that what bunch of crunch is?
Yeah, they're Nestle Crunch, right? But the little bunch that look like a rabbit shit.
Very appetizing. For me, popcorn, and you guys hit the nail on the head, the crunch and the texture, it's so light and airy that it doesn't really make you full. And of course, Bob, you talked about adding stuff to your popcorn. So there's a versatility there, the flavor versatility. You could season it how you want. You could add stuff to it, the jalapenos, the pickers. I'm not a fan of those things, but you could add those if you want. I mean, the noise factor, it's not annoying either. The noise factor, it's easy to share. The only problem...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I'll answer your question right now after this point, Bob. The only problem is the addiction of starting to eat popcorn. When you eat movie theater popcorn, you eat it like you've never had it before in your life. And you keep wolfing it down during the previews, and there's no self-control with this thing. But that's the only problem with popcorn, is that we eat it too much, too fast. But to answer your question, I like M&Ms with my popcorn. But what about you, Joseph?
Interesting. Like, I know, because fundraisers nowadays are like popcorn. Like, your schools have your kids send your kids home to sell popcorn. And my thing, it's not so much like what I like to mix with them. Although if I am gonna have something with them, it's
pickle.
Strictly, it's got to be a pickle. I'm weird. When I was a kid, I used to everybody does it, so it's not weird. I used to get the sliced pickles and put like a popcorn between 2 pickles. And
I thought you were gonna say you used to eat the whole one.
All right, Iron Chef.
I used to just kiss the pickle.
You only eat the slices. You don't eat the, like, you don't just get one big pickle.
That's what I love about eating. That's what I love about eating popcorn at home. You get the hamburger slice pickles, and you
it's convenient.
Toss a shitload of them inside the bowl, and boom, you're good.
Bobby,
they won't do that shit for you at the theater.
Let's
if
pause.
You take a knife, you're a bad guy.
Let's pause for a second here, because what I just found out is that pickles aren't ubiquitous around the country or the world as part of a theater food. Could you describe, at least for Texas, what pickles mean in theaters, or what is your experience eating pickles in theaters with popcorn?
There's sour pickles. So
Yeah.
you ever had a sour pickle? They're the larger pickles. You bite into them. They're sour. They add to that little saltiness from the popcorn. It's amazing stuff, dude.
I think it works hand in hand too, because it kind of like, I don't know, because I mean,
Good for
if you
cramps.
yes, very much so. If you can eat popcorn by itself just without having anything to drink, then and I don't mean like beer. Like I just
And you
think
just
like,
saved yourself $20.
that's true, but like I gotta have like a soda or something or something to drink while I'm eating popcorn, because that's you're gonna it's gonna dry your mouth a little bit, and if you fucking threw a bunch of salt on it, then that's even worse.
Okay, can I ask you all a question? I mean, Joseph just brought it up, and I know it's part of our questions, but we can just go into it now. What's the go-to soda? And what's the go-to drink? If you're going to the movie theater and you're drinking water, then fuck you, you're too healthy to hang out with us.
I don't do anything like, I know we got options now at the theater, but
I'm thinking like nostalgic, like when you were in junior high and high school, we used to go to the movies.
Straight up Coke, just a straight up Coke,
white powder. Yeah,
I typically don't drink sodas during the week. I try not to, because once you get,
but like back then in college,
but I'm getting to it right now. I will drink sodas in a movie theater, and I always go for a root beer, because I don't drink root beer anywhere else. So, and I don't go to the movies too often. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to paralyze myself with, diabetes.
Diabetes.
So I'll have
Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb, are you going for like Barg's root beer?
I need Barks. I'll take a Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb is underrated. You know what? I got to mention this, and the reason why I brought it up.
Barg's in forever, bro. I haven't seen that.
Just go to bars now. The one soda that I would love to get at the theater, and I used to get it all the freaking time, was a cherry Coke. For some reason, dude, when we were in high school and call it like cherry Coke at the movie theater, and they give it to you, like you mentioned, in that fucking gallon cup where you're like, damn, you're going to have to take a leak at some point in time during the movie because, but yeah, cherry Coke, for some reason, dude, it hits different there.
And
Mr.
the old
Pibb
school,
too, Mr. Pibb.
the old school, yeah, Mr. Pibb. The old school logo cherry Coke was better. You remember that? How the
it
was
was like
cherry
purple
Cokes,
and black with the like Darkwing Duck.
They try to make it all edgy and shit, like, oh, it's cherry Coke, like it's edgy, So but that was some good stuff back then.
I couldn't remember my next question, but I will say this.
You have it typed out.
I do have it typed out somewhere. I will say this. Movie theaters, the only like really acceptable place where you could walk around with all these horrible snacks for your body and nobody judges you. So is that why we love going to the movie theater? Because part of the fun is eating whatever you want. You're taking a gallon of soda, a gallon of popcorn. You have, pickles, popcorn, whatever you have. And nobody's judging
money,
you.
You better get that gallon.
Yeah, you better. It's only 30 cents extra. Come on.
It's like it's $15 for the medium, but if you spend 75 cents more, you
instead of $10, you pay $10.50.
I'm gonna sit in the dark and eat it anyways. Nobody can look at me.
So go ahead, Joseph or Bob.
Well, I was gonna answer your question, which was about what was socially acceptable to carry all that food?
Nobody cares, right?
Yeah. Nobody judges.
Nobody judges.
I think that they look at you weird if you didn't take anything into the fucking theater. Like if you're just gonna, go raw dog it there and just fucking stare at the movie without drinking or eating anything.
Have you ever raw dogged a movie where you didn't? I think Spider-Man 2. I didn't eat shit.
I've gone to theater to watch a movie and not
I
been
need
hungry.
something.
I just need something to drink.
I need something to drink at least.
Yeah.
But like popcorn's the go-to, dude. Even if I usually always get popcorn. So but popcorn is the way to go. Even like I know you mentioned by the fistful, dude. You have to eat it by the fistful, and it spills everywhere. It's like the peanuts at those Texas Roadhouse restaurants. You can just throw them on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's bad, and everybody fucking shares it. So everybody just sticks their hand in, and I think before COVID, it was really like nobody gave a shit. Then after COVID, like, yeah, why don't you buy your own fucking popcorn?
Would you have?
Go ahead, Joseph.
No, I was gonna say, would you? Since we're all in on popcorn here, if the theater gave you the option, because we have those awesome stores, the variety, popcorn stores, where you get all these flavors and whatnot.
And all that chocolate,
I think these things are awesome. We have a bunch of them across Texas, and if we stop anyway, if given the option at the theater, what are you taking?
A mix
of jalapeno cheddar.
No, I would take a mix of regular popcorn and mix with caramel popcorn, like half and half. And if it's hot, like caramel popcorn that's hot, like, just pop it. I think Target used to sell it. Fuck, dude, I have to buy it all. I used to have to buy it all the time. Yeah, it'd be a mix of that, half and half.
You figured they would have already? Can you take that at home? Do we have like already like sweet and flavored microwave popcorn?
We have kettle corn and we have all those
kettle
flavors.
corn sweet. Yeah, kettle corn sweet.
But is it
kettle corn.
No, I know, but like, can you buy it like how we buy regular movie popcorn at the store, bring it home, throw it in the microwave? Are they doing that? Does anybody put out a flavored?
I don't know. That's something popcorn to look. If they did, I would buy the shit out of it.
Right?
I'm sure they do. Yeah. But the thing is, and I love popcorn, but I also think that part of the reason we hold popcorn in such a pedestal is that it's part of the nostalgia and the tradition. I think the smell of freshly popped popcorn adds to the atmosphere because we've spent so many good times at the movie. So for me, the smell of the popcorn is better than eating the popcorn because it reminds me of being in the movie theater. I think movie theater popcorn's fine. I don't think it's like the greatest thing in the world.
Sociopath. No, I agree. No, the smell, the hearing it pop, like when you walk in, you're like, okay, dude, we're getting popcorn. What else? The smell. But no, that like being able to reach down and munch on something as you're watching the movie or as it's getting more exciting or whatever. That's part of the experience, man. So I think popcorn's always the way to go.
I used to work for a company that would it was a home health agency. We used to do like these outreach community movie screenings, free movie screenings for our elderly communities, and the company ended up buying a popcorn machine.
Was it called Vivid? No, never mind. Go ahead.
What is that, Ren? What is that? So anyway, we bought a popcorn machine, and when I learned how to, because I would help and I would assist with these things, I learned how to make the popcorn through the thing. And I'm not gonna lie, a couple of times when we weren't doing movie theaters, I would just go turn that thing off and make popcorn and put it out because it would just it is good. Like, yeah, that whole
it's better than the microwave.
Yes, no doubt. The whole the whole fresh kernel cooking in the oil and whatnot. Yeah, it's something else.
My first full-time job at a college, I worked student activities, and we had a popcorn machine. And I have mixed memories with popcorn. We would always make these popcorn treats bags for students. Just, hey, come get a snack, come get popcorn. And most students were grateful, but you always had those asshole students who would say, you don't have any butter, you don't have any Cholula sauce, you don't have, and like it would just drive me nuts. So I have kind of a love-hate relationship.
You should have just taken it back. No, and now you don't have any fucking popcorn either.
Exactly right. Look at that. You don't have popcorn either, asshole.
So I have a love-hate relationship, but I mean, it's tradition and nostalgia, right? I mean, the smell of popcorn, we talked about it. Part of the allure of popcorn is that it's often eaten in the dark, so we indulge in our most troglodyte mannerisms, just eating it by the fistful, spilling it on our jeans, on our shirt. We don't give a shit. We're in the movie theater. It's dark.
Cutting holes under the bottom of the box so that, we don't give a shit.
Here we go, Vivid. Here we go, Vivid.
I think you've gone to the theater with Alanis. So let's go on to candies, guys. What is the goat? What is the goat candy for your movie watching experience?
I'm gonna just say it right now. It's fucking Twizzlers. Okay, it's Twizzlers for me, man. It always has been. And if you bite off both ends, you put it in your soda, and you could drink soda through it. It's perfect.
You know what? Yep,
it's perfect.
I gotta agree with that. Look, if one of you all had snagged popcorn as your pick, if we were actually doing this like how we normally do an episode, the probable second one, I think, would have been for either, the other two would have been Twizzlers. And I know a lot of people don't like Twizzlers.
I don't like Twizzlers.
No, there's that asshole right there.
There's the guy. See that guy? He's the asshole.
It's wax.
It's not wax. No, but I agree with like that. If it was me who ended up picking Twizzlers, because I figured one of y'all was going to take popcorn if we had done this regularly, that would have been one of my arguments too. Yeah, get yourself a soda, get yourself some Twizzlers, bite off two ends and then sip soda through it. Like,
put it in the straw hole.
You guys sound like fourth graders. Anyway, I would say M&Ms, and M&Ms aren't my favorite candy outside of the movie theater.
Okay, hold on. What kind of M&Ms? Okay,
peanut M&Ms.
Okay,
peanut M&Ms. Yes.
All right.
I will eat peanut M&Ms in the movie theater because they don't make a mess. You could eat them with your popcorn. It's a nice sort of combination with sweet and salty. I just think they're great because they don't make a mess. And you could be on a date. You could be, dressed up going to the movie theater, and you don't want to, open up a Kit Kat and get it melted chocolate on yourself. Or
how slow you eating a fucking Kit Kat, right? Oh God, you put it in that mouth, eat it.
You got to savor the Kit Kat, right?
What I love M&Ms. My favorite ones are peanut butter M&Ms. If you had said peanut butter M&Ms, we'd be on the same wavelength here. I'm a big fan of peanut butter M&Ms. Joseph, what's your favorite candy? What's the goat candy?
As far as like for purposes of ranking them, I'd have to say that Twizzlers are, just because of the things you can do, convenient, not too much of a mess.
You can knock the shit out of your buddy sitting in front of you with it too.
It's not really gonna mess with your breath if you're on a date, if you're trying to
good
those
point.
smoochy whatnot. But
Good
given
point.
a selection, the preferred selection, Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids is a good one. I agree. That's number 2 on my list.
Also not as messy. Look, M&Ms are the goat as well, obviously. But then that might make your mouth taste a little better for the lady.
What about some Reese's Pieces? You don't like Reese's Pieces, Joseph?
I like Reese's Pieces.
Of course, dude. I love all these.
But you know what's fucked up about Reese's Pieces? You end up eating like 80 of them with one handful, and you feel like an asshole because the box ends so quick. I'd rather have bigger M&Ms.
Fucking ET's onto something here. What about, what I've never had, and I see it every movie theater? Snow caps. Who the fuck? What are snow caps?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I'm not a snow cap guy. I'm not a Junior Mint guy. I'm not a Whopper guy.
Like,
very
Mints
refreshing.
Cool. Junior Mints is fine. I got no beef with.
If I want to eat toothpaste, I'll fucking brush my teeth.
What is a snow cap? Like, what is a snow cap? What is it?
I think it's like,
is it chocolate?
Chocolate
with coconut?
Something.
I think it's chocolate and coconut.
I'm gonna look.
We can look at it. We got computer screens in front of us.
Exactly.
So y'all are fan? Do y'all like Whoppers? I'm not a fan of Whoppers. I don't like that malt crunchy. It's got a weird flavor too. I'll eat Milk Duds. Milk Duds,
Raisinets.
Raisinets, I love. I like dark chocolate
Raisinets,
but I'm all fancy and shit now.
Yeah, chocolate covered almonds, but you don't want, like I said, my big thing is getting the chocolate on your hands, and you're eating greasy popcorn, so the chocolate kind of smears.
Yeah,
so you just gotta be careful.
Yeah, Raisinets. I'm a big fan of Raisinets. And Bunch of Crunch.
Sorry, I'm trying not to.
What are snow caps, Joseph?
I'm trying to figure that out, but I'm also
I got here. I have my phone right.
But I want to be involved in the conversation as well.
Go ahead, I'll look it up.
It's right here.
What is it?
It's like chocolate,
semi-sweet chocolate. Oh, this one's in Spanish. Jesus Christ! Come on. In Spanish, come on.
It is small pieces of semi-sweet chocolate covered with white
non-Perales? What the fuck is that?
Non-Perales? Yeah, I don't know what that is. It sounds like shit. I wouldn't eat it. I've never had it.
I'd rather have a Werther's Original and choke than eat a fucking snow cap. If I'm gonna go sour, I'm gonna go with pickles with the popcorn rather than the Sour Patch Kids.
I like that they're sweet. They're sour, but then they're sweet.
Yeah, Joseph, that's a commercial right there.
Yeah, we're looking for some sponsorships, baby.
No shit. Come on, Sour Patch.
Sour Patch.
We love
do
you.
It. Yes.
Made by Nestle, I believe. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I don't know who makes it.
I think we're all okay with beer or any other alcoholic beverages at theaters. I think that's what we accept it, right?
Well, now that we're older,
dude. When they started doing that, like once we were of age, fuck yeah, dude. Do I want a gallon of soda with like 80 grams of sugar, or can I have a fucking cold beer and probably be better off?
Just kill my liver. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What about coffee? Coffee as a beverage in theater. Have you ever had?
Like you're talking about like iced coffee
or any coffee? I've had a coffee. Go ahead.
In the theater?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
a hot coffee.
I've had a hot coffee.
He was watching theater, not the movies. He went to a theater watching Hamlet.
It was in Barcelona, but yeah.
I can't do that. Like I'll have an iced one. You can bring me something like if it's a little, an early showing maybe, or even in the evening if I just need a little, a little caffeine pick me up. Make it a cold one, an iced coffee. But I can't sit in a theater with a hot coffee.
Most theaters are freezing cold anyway. So hot coffee I could do. I could drink coffee.
I see people doing that. Like I understand why people. You know what? That's true. I guess even during the holiday times, they start adding like hot chocolates to their menus and whatnot, and you can sit in the theater, watch a movie, and enjoy some hot chocolate or something if you want.
The only downside to that is hearing the sipping. I don't like the sipping noise of liquids on lips. That's the only thing I don't. Some people love it. Some people pay for it, but no,
You talking about the slurping sound?
Yeah, slurping, sipping loudly. I don't go for that. But if you're
is it sipping like the coffee, or sipping like when somebody's an asshole drinking their soda and
their soda's almost done, and their
soda's almost done, and they're like,
and all of a sudden they become what's that guy, the devil? All of a sudden they become Charlie Daniels with a straw too. When they
you're gonna say Daniel Day-Lewis?
They start. Yeah. When you drink your soda, just fucking leave it alone. Stop slurping the ice. Stop.
Don't shake
pretending
it.
You're like playing the violin with a straw. Just leave it the hell alone, or go get a refill. It's done. It's over. All right.
You can tell Randall's a dad. That's definitely a dad.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to enjoy Despicable Me 5, and you damn kids.
Like, I'm trying to watch Super Mario. Like, please stop slurping your soda. So, guys, when we talked about this, you have I don't know if this kind of repeats your question, Bob. You have 4 items for your movie snack tray. What's your go-to combo? If you're having like a complete 4 items on your tray, what are you picking?
Dude, it's for me Cherry Coke, Twizzlers. I'm either gonna go Bunch of Crunch, or I'll go with like pickles on my popcorn. A pickle with my popcorn. But I think that would be the 4 items. Twizzlers, Cherry Coke, and popcorn are like non-negotiables. But something chocolatey, maybe, yeah. If I had to go 4, I mean, if I have enough money, if I got paid for one, I could afford all that. Yeah, I'd get 4 items.
What about you, Joseph? The Mount Rushmore of your tray.
Is a soda considered a snack?
I think so.
Yeah,
you have to drink something. Yeah.
Okay, well then I have to add that because obviously I need to drink something. So I'd have soda, popcorn, some M&Ms, and my Sour Patch Kids.
I would have popcorn, the root beer, M&Ms. I would go with a hot dog. What's your take on movie theater?
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. Okay, hot dogs. I've always kind of paired hot dogs with like sporting events, like baseball games and like maybe like football games. Like I've always paired it with that. I never saw the whole appeal, I guess you could say, of eating a hot dog during a movie. Like I always figured like more like snacks, not actual meal. Do you all, Josie, you like hot dogs during the movie theater?
I've done it before. It's not bad. I've been to a movie theater where I was extremely hungry and I needed to eat something. So I got, and now we'll get into this probably next with these theaters that are now like,
yes. We're getting there. We're getting there in a little bit. Yeah.
These theaters that have like options other than, your popcorn, your basic stuff. I've had it before. It's not. I don't know if you can call it a meal or a snack, but it is what it is.
I think it's more of a snack than a meal. A hot dog.
I don't know. It's a hot dog. Well, let's change the scenario.
Is it a sandwich? No.
If you're on a date, are you ordering a hot dog?
No, not on a date. No.
Yeah.
She doesn't need me to see me in that light.
Like, well, because another thing too, like you're adding obviously your mustard or ketchup to your hot dog, and you're eating it in the dark. So if it fucking spills on your shirt, you're not going to see it. And I don't know how sexually, how you're going to look to her as you're chomping down a fucking big ass hot dog covered in mustard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much of a turn on.
Not very attractive.
Okay, well, here's what if she gets one first?
And she's a dirty girl, Joseph. Then she's a dirty girl.
I'm cutting that one out. No, but yeah, I mean hot dogs. But they're never the best. But for some reason, hot dogs remind me of the theater.
If you have no other option, and if you're extremely hungry, and
popcorn is the way to go,
then go for it. But if you're, we're gonna eat after the movie or something. No, stick to it. Keep it simple. Just
popcorn for everybody.
Yeah,
big ass trash bag of popcorn.
And there's those fancy popcorn cups that are now coming out for different movies, different releases.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what the Beetlejuice one's gonna be.
What is your take on movie nachos? To me, the worst snack ever. But what is your take?
Really, worse. I think movie nachos are excellent, especially like jalapenos and all. Yeah, it's awesome. But again, are you going with your buddies? Are you going on a date? Like, if it's a first date or second date, do you really want to be sucking cheese off your fingers and spilling that shit everywhere and trying to wipe it off your hands or your chin? When you're on a date, like it's scenario based. I guess you could say scenario based.
I can agree with that because if it's your first date, if it's a first date situation, you don't have a familiarity with each other, or you're not.
Look at this motherfucker with cheese all over his hands.
Extremely comfortable with each other. Then that's probably something that I'm gonna avoid. If she goes for it, Hey, great. But once you start, if it's another situation, like, oh, if you're going out with if you're going to go watch a movie with your boys, your buddies, your friends, get whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, it would be situational based, like Bob said. Hey, if this is you all have been together for a while and you all are both going to a movie, and who gives a shit? You obviously seen each other naked, yeah, eat the get nachos.
Eat the cheese. Gross out your wife.
Cheese. You've seen me naked.
I think it's the worst movie snack of all time. Processed cheese and stale chips. So I'm going to get to that. I'm talking about it.
Processed cheese or processed hot dog way.
But I'll say this. We come from a place where you get chips and they put the most delicious items on them when we go and eat at these Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
how do you flip that into going to the theater, getting these stale chips, this cold processed cheese? It's terrible movie food because of the packaging. The packaging is loud. The spill rate, the crunch sound is terrible. It's a bad date food no matter what. If you're a grown-ass man ordering nachos in a theater at a date, I think you've shown the person you are. I only care for myself. I don't love you as much as I do my mother. She's going to come between us. I'm just a spoiled little brat eating nacho cheese.
These scenarios
Who hurt you, sir? Who hurt you?
I just think it's a terrible movie theater food. I just don't like it.
I mean, I don't say it's terrible, but yeah, I think the dirty factor especially with like that and hot dogs, I don't see that for dates.
It is okay, yes, but it is not for dates. Like I said, you got to be comfortable with each other. For kids, what about kids? Like, if your kids want nachos,
they brought their own money that they could buy their own. You know,
is it an age-based thing?
I think it's an age. Yeah, my son likes to eat movie theater nachos. I don't judge him, but all you other people, I judge.
I just stare at him.
Let me stare at him, look at him weird for like a week. Let me ask you this question though: is it like, okay? So I don't recall the last time I went to case. Unfortunately, these movie theaters don't have professional queso makers in the back doing their thing. But it's been a while since I can remember.
It's been a while.
I knew that was coming. Since I've had movie theater nachos. When we were growing up, I remember they used to do the tray with the thing with the chips, and they'd pour chips in it, and
the Rico cheese they just peel off.
Pour. No. They would pour like a bunch of cheese all over the nachos, and then they had the little cup.
Did they stare at you in the eyes when they do that?
And then you what do they have now? I know
it's the same thing. It's that little it's the little cup of nachos.
No, but
you have to open it.
Back in the days, you didn't have to open it. They
had a ladle and they would drip it all over the nacho for you, Joseph, and Joseph would stare in each other's eyes.
How in high school and like in games like old school nachos.
You have to open up the nacho chips and then you have to dip it in the cheese. Yeah,
it's probably a hygienic thing now. It's like we can't have you eat a fresh.
Well, it's probably more cost effective too. They don't pour a gallon of fucking cheese all over your nachos,
so they don't burn your fucking hat. They don't burn their hat. This is a fucking safety hazard for our employees now.
All right, we're getting to it now. What's your take on those fancy?
Jacob used to run a theater for.
I remember, Joseph's brother used to run a theater. Used to give us all free snacks.
Yeah,
he used to get the rats out of the popcorn machines.
So, guys, what's your take on those fancy gourmet movie theaters with full menus? Is it better, or does it take away from the traditional movie experience?
I think it takes away from the traditional movie experience, dude. To be honest, dude. Like getting chicken tenders for your kids, like at the theater, like it kind of takes it away from it. Yeah, we can go eat. We have food at home. Come on, I think like going and being like, hey, look, you can pick a candy, we can get a popcorn, you can get this, and then we could all kind of share, and you share snacks, and it's more like a snack thing with the movie because you want to make it about the movie. I don't like you're trying to watch a movie, and then this fucking waiter showing up and excuse me, sir, trying to put a whole plate of hamburger and nachos and the full like theater menu. You know what I mean? Like where people are carving into this shit with a fork and a knife. We don't need a fork and a knife at a movie theater, especially not a knife. Goddammit. I think it takes away from the traditional movie experience.
I'd agree. As much as convenient or as inconvenient as it is, depending on who you are in a situation like that, like how Bob mentioned with kids, like, okay, some of the kids, you know what, I got to feed these kids now, get them their chicken tenders, and we'll get the kids their chicken tenders, and we'll eat we'll split a bag of nachos, or a bag of Doritos, because now you can just get bags of chips there.
For $18.
Exactly. I mean, I get it. I guess it's a situation thing. It depends on the theater. Like Alamo Draft House was a cool thing. I don't think these things are in business anymore. Is Alamo
They are,
Drafthouse
yeah.
still-
I just went to one a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so now that we're adults and we can go to these theaters that offer this stuff to have beers and whatnot or alcoholic beverages while we're watching a movie, like we're totally on board with it. Like I love that, but yeah,
I'll
guess.
take beer and popcorn over like a fucking chicken tenders.
Me too, yeah.
I do hate the whole
Mashed
situation
potatoes
where
and
somebody's like trying to bring you your food while the movie's already going on. Yeah, that's too crazy. Yeah, mashed potatoes. Like I think because some of these theaters like with these more food options offer like a little small personal pizza. What's your take on that? Too much?
It's too much to me.
It's too much.
To me, it's a bad idea. I think part of the allure of a good meal, I'm talking about a meal, not a snack, is looking at it. You're dealing with sauces and packets and
look at it.
blind arrangements. Like I'll give you an example. We went to go watch Maverick a few years ago, and that's when people were coming back to theaters, and we went to a theater that offered a meal, and they would have those themes like, hey, we're having Top Gun menu. You'll have like these
and Insure and what's another old guy meal? Crazy Chicken for Tom Cruise.
And so we bought this fancy meal, and it was like $85. We just paid Tom Cruise's fucking salary for the movie. I mean, it was insane. They're too expensive for what they are. And I just think once you go past the traditional, I think hot dog is like the limit as far as food options. I think if you go to hamburgers, pizza, anything like that, it's a no for me.
I can only agree with pizza at home because like it reminds you like, oh, you rented a movie on the weekend like from Blockbuster. This is back in the day, folks. Now I guess Netflix, like you order pizza and you order pizza, you make popcorn, and then everybody can kind of munch on that. But that's more of a home thing, not a movie theater snack.
I just don't like it. But you guys talked about pickles. One of the things I like to order from the Alamo Drafthouse, Joseph. Now that you reminded me, pickle spears. Have you ever had pickle spears? Ranch, they're really good. Yeah,
like fried, right?
Yeah, fried pickles.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like, you mean like the ones
fried
they
pickles
slice
awesome,
up
dude.
and put into jars at the grocery store?
Vlasic.
Yes, Vlasic pickles.
Vlasic?
Yes.
I get those all the
big
time. I
fan
love
of-
those. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of fried pickles.
I don't fry them. Well, yeah, fried pickles are good. It's not something I'm gonna always order, but if they're there on the table, sure, they're good.
What about like those $25 milkshakes? Would you
Fucking crazy.
This is milk and ice cream.
It better have bourbon in it. Or
No
something.
shit. Better get me fucked up a little bit. Jeez, I'm not getting a buzz. I'm not a big fan of milkshakes. Slurpee, that's different. I can get on board with like a
Oh
Slurpee.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
orders
They
a
have some of
Slurpee
those
for-
options now. Yeah, there's like icy machines and whatnot. At
Yeah, they
theaters.
had like ordering an icy there. That's what I meant to say. An icy or Slurpee is more like convenience store.
So
ices are more. Yeah, so I can get on board with that. But milkshake, no, I think that's
what did
too
I go
much,
see?
man.
What was the last movie I went to go? So when I went to go see Late Night with the Devil, it was at an AMC theater, and it was our AMC theater by the highway, the one that we all know.
Was Nicole Kidman introducing you to the theater? Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't remember, but like, no, it's just like 'cause I haven't been there in a while, and let me just say like that because that theater it's been here for years. They've updated over the years. They've added the IMAX theater to it. I walked into that, saw the big open bar in the front, and I was like, wow, it's actually cool. So there's like a whole bar here in front, and then the two snacks sides. Like now the amount of shit though, like it's like above. I don't think of AMC as one of those like full menu fancy gourmet theaters, but man, do they offer a lot of stuff. And then once you get your food, you walk to where all the beverages are, and they got those machines, which I think are genius, the Coke machines that like you can pick all the different ones and then
mix
pick
them all,
the different flavors.
Yeah.
And then there's like since you just mentioned ices, it reminded me of that. That's why I'm bringing it up. There's like 4 or 5 different icy machine flavors. I'm like, geez, there's all this stuff is like, I mean, it's crazy. There's just so many more options now at theaters.
So many
and it's
options.
like, just keep it simple depending on who you're with, I guess.
Do you guys think they need to provide healthier options in movie theaters? Do you guys think? I mean, the obesity rates,
Well, I mean, here's just a fun fact: if you don't want to eat it, then don't
eat it. Yeah, no,
You know
they
what I
don't.
mean?
They
You
don't
can raw dog the movie,
salad
dog the
bar
movie.
or something.
Order a fucking water,
That's
bottle
it.
water,
Look,
the Dasani, and sit your ass
that's
there
it.
and drink
Like,
your water.
That's the only thing I would say. Like, look, you don't want to eat what we have here, but you want something. Here's a box salad. If you want to eat,
No. Do it the American way. You want something healthy? Bring it in your fucking pocket or bring it in your wife's purse. Jesus Christ,
that's
the American way.
Then
Bring your own food, fucker.
I'm just saying, like, if that were the were to be a thing, like that's the only thing that they should offer. No, personally, I don't. You know what you're doing. You know you're going to the theater for a purpose. Like if you want to eat healthy meal while you're watching or a healthy snack option while you're watching a movie, then wait till that shit's at home when you're in your house and go do it yourself. When you're going to the theater, no, I'm sorry, they don't need to offer any healthier option. You know what you're going to go do there. You know, you're gonna go watch a big,
And it's dirty.
fucking big screen movie and disappear from your life for a while and try to enjoy yourself. So enjoy yourself with some unhealthy snacks.
Let me ask you guys this. What needs to be introduced as a traditional movie snack? I say empanadas. I say they're not messy. You can fill them up. They're easy to eat. They're handheld. Why don't we have movie theater empanadas?
Where do you go to buy empanadas? I want to know. Like you're talking about, like pumpkin empanadas?
No, like
with meat?
there's different kinds. You could have meat. You could have pumpkin. You could have any kind of empanadas.
You might as well have said tamales. Shit.
Those are greasy.
Oh, come on, man. I would say.
Do theaters offer ice cream? Some of them do.
They do,
I'm
yeah.
not
Some of them
trying to say ice cream needs to be out, but
you know, like you think of like a dessert or something like that. I don't know, man. Maybe like donuts.
yeah,
I was looking at
it
some
seems
lists.
easy.
And they were
That would be
talking about
simple.
like hot pretzels. I was like, I don't think I've ever been to a movie theater that has hot pretzels. I was like, but that I could get on board with pretzels. I'm a big fan of pretzels, especially if you have a beer. I mean, that would go really well together.
Yeah.
That'd make it actually the easiest thing to introduce.
If
as
you're
a
watching
standard.
Inglorious Bastards, just bring it all the way around. You got the pretzel, the beer, in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you say, Joseph?
No, I was kind of agreeing with Bob there on the situation with the pretzel. It would be the easiest to introduce. It's something they could do. I mean, it just goes kind of hand in hand. It's not. It doesn't seem like the process takes
Ice
too
cream
long
cone.
or too. That's why I mentioned ice cream, because I thought, well, maybe they should just start handing out.
Do an ice cream cone. Here you go. But the soft serve one that has like vanilla, the chocolate, or the mix, the swirl. That's all you get, fuckers.
Yeah,
That's all you
the fucking three flavor machine from Golden Corral. You either get the chocolate, the vanilla, or the mix in the middle.
Jason's Deli, yes.
The mix is the best.
Let me ask you this, guys, as we wind down to our final few questions. Do you think snacks make a bad movie more bearable, or do they distract from the disappointment? Do you think if you're watching a bad movie, do you say, hey, at least I got to enjoy these movie snacks?
No, I don't. I mean, yes and no, because they're part of the experience. But if you're watching, if you spend all that money on a ticket and you spend all that money on popcorn, and then the movie sucks, you're like, at least I got this $20 bucket of popcorn. You know, it doesn't really hit at the same. You know, back in the day, it was like $3 to get in the theater, and another like $3 for a bucket of popcorn, a large bucket of popcorn. So I can see it would be worth it then. But now I think things are so expensive that I think we're pretty picky about the movies that we go see now. You know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it could enhance the movie, I say, but I don't know if the movie sucks. I think that's the main reason you're there, right, for the movie.
For the movie. Joseph?
It doesn't have any effect on them whatsoever. If the movie sucks, the movie sucks. It's not gonna. The movie, the snacks aren't gonna fucking make you feel better about the whatever it is that you went to see that ended up being bad. Unfortunately,
nobody ever says like, I just watched this shitty movie, but boy, what a great amount of popcorn I got.
Chicken tenders were so delicious. The best chicken tenders I've ever had in my life.
Those Smurfs sucked, but you know what? Yeah, the pizza was wonderful. Guys, as we come to a close, last few questions. What was your best all-time movie experience, or some of your best movie experiences?
I remember sneaking into movies a lot. Like you would go, like you would go, either you'd get dropped off because you're young, or you drive to the movie theater and you'd get there early, like at Saturday, you'd get there like at 6. And you'd watch one movie, and before that movie was over, you would sneak over to the next movie that was just about to start or had just started. So you kind of make it a full experience. And I used to do that a lot. I think those are my favorite memories, just going from one movie to another. And, you get there at 6 and you're leaving like at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night because you stayed there, just fucking hopping from movie theater to movie theater. But yeah, those are my best experiences.
Talk about a different time. Like Bob said, we used to get dropped off at the theater.
Yeah.
With a quarter in our pocket so we could use a payphone to call our parents and pick our ass up.
and then we'd stay there till like, whatever at night. Best movie experience was going to go see. I used to work for the company I used to work for, our marketing team. They had gotten a hold of like, what was it, like five or six. This is around the time Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh,
was being
yeah.
released.
We went with you, right?
Yeah.
Did you go to?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
We
I
all,
don't
it was a
remember who-
midnight showing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
remember.
it was like 8 or 9 of us, right, Joseph?
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember who went, but I know that like so the marketing team, the marketing assistant, she came and I happened to be sitting in the reception area at the time, and she dropped these things off on the counter. She's like, "Oh, we got these movie passes to a movie tonight that's showing some midnight showing at the local theater." And I was like, "What's the movie?" And it was for Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and like I had really know nothing about it. I knew nothing about anything at all. Like, and there was like 5 or 6 of these little cards that she had on the desk there, and it was a 2-person per card. So I just fucking snagged all those things. I was like, fuck.
I remember you said
everybody, fuck everybody else.
You called us, sent us a text, and we all met at my house.
I was like,
we all went to.
I was like, who wants to go see a free movie? It was a Friday night.
No, it was a Thursday night, like late night showing, wasn't it? Or maybe
I know it was a
midnight.
late showing because it was like they were premiering it, like it was being a premiere. We didn't. I don't want to call it premiere because it makes it sound more than it is, but it was like the first showing that they were, I guess, gonna do at the theater. Yeah, I texted up everybody. I'm like, hey, I got like 6 of these passes, 2 per pass. Who wants to go? And we all ended up going and taking up like a good 2 rows, I guess, of what is it? Who knows math? 2 times 6.
12.
Me and him go way back.
Sorry, on the spot math and me don't mix. But anyway, 12 of us go, and it ends up being like one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen in my life.
Fun night.
Sarah Marshall. That was a great time with my buddies, with my boys, and just having fun, laughing at a great funny movie. Like it was a really good time.
I think my all-time favorite movie experience, and we're about to celebrate the 30th anniversary in a couple of months, is Pulp Fiction. When I was in high school in 1994, when Pulp Fiction came out, it didn't hit our theater. It was, we lived in South Texas. This was before these critically acclaimed movies would go down to the valley. We never would get them, but Pulp Fiction came down, and it came down for about 2 weeks. So a couple of friends invited me to go watch it. And I said, no, I don't want to watch it. John Travolta talking baby movies. I've seen Quentin Tarantino. I don't know anything about him. He seems kind of like a loudmouth. Little did I know he'd become my favorite director, movie writer. So I passed up on it. And the Monday they came back, they were quoting this movie. They were telling me about it. I was like, I have to watch this movie. So I go to the theater that Friday, and it's gone. I mean, they were only playing it for a week in our area. So I was bummed. A few months later, I rented it, rewatched it several times. But during one of our anniversaries, my wife took me to go watch it at the Alamo Drafthouse. And it was like this cool experience. I was like, here I am 25 years. I think it was a 25-year anniversary or something. Here I was 25 years later with my wife watching my favorite all-time movie. And we got all these like great items, and they did all these great things. Like they had a twist contest, and they did all these great things. And I was like, finally, I get to watch my favorite movie in the theater. And it all happened because of my wife. So really cool experience. Yeah.
Did you dress like Vincent Vega, or did you dress like who'd you dress like?
I
was gonna guess Uma Thurman, but
like the wolf. Yeah, no.
See, these are why those I don't want to call it a gourmet theater, but like those specialty theaters, like an Alamo Drafthouse, something like that. Are cool when they're cool, because Bob, what was the name of that thing that we went to go see, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie thing? Like when they put something on like that, and they like do a big like celebration of an anniversary of a movie, do all this fun stuff, like that's what those theaters are awesome for.
Yes.
Like specifically.
Yeah, that Arnold thing, it was like the best of Arnold. Like they had 4 comedians that were standing there in the theater, and they were showing clips from the Arnold movies. They would do like voiceovers and like throw out jokes and shit like that, and we played drinking games,
fun facts.
It was a cool experience.
Those were good. Yeah,
hilarious experience. So like when you got something like that going at these theaters, that's cool. That's when it works out. When it's like when you have that ability to have some beers and enjoy some kind of situation like that, depending on the movie. Obviously, if you're having beers, your kids are probably at home with a sitter.
Have you guys ever smuggle snacks into a movie theater?
Yeah,
you guys ever?
Dude, of course. To this day. I
gotta tell you about an experience. I remember one time I was
go to the dollar store right by the theater first, load up on dollar stores boxes of candy, and put them in your pocket. They're not gonna check you. Nobody's gonna touch you.
It's not like the airport, right? The guy doesn't give a shit. He's like, they're paying me minimum wage. Get the
I
fuck
don't
in.
give a
They don't
fuck.
give a
He's
shit.
probably your
Exactly.
buddy from high school. He's like, yeah, go inside.
I remember I was watching Swordfish. You guys remember that movie, John Travolta, Halle Berry, and
Swordfish.
this family. It was a mother and like 5 of her kids, and their age ranges were like 18 and like 8 or something. What are you doing in this?
Watching Swordfish?
Yeah,
What the
watching
fuck?
Swordfish, and they brought in like their own hot dogs, and like they brought in their own chili, like in a Tupperware, like in this
Oh,
big
my
bag, and it smelled good. But I was like, damn, they brought like their fucking kitchen to the movie theater.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
señora, hey, can I have a hot dog?
I wanted to give her like $5. Hey, could you, no chili on mine, you know. But I don't know who made that.
I didn't bring a Pepsi.
But yeah, I remember seeing a whole family sneaking chili dogs during Swordfish, and you know, it was just an insane experience.
That's funny.
Of all movies to bring in the
Swordfish.
fucking the kitchen with you.
You know, it's like Three Amigos or
Swordfish.
something more, you know, whatever.
Yeah, Halle Berry.
Cartoon. No,
Halle
Swordfish.
Berry.
What about most embarrassing movie experiences? I just had one recently, but what about you guys? Any embarrassing movie experiences?
I can't think of any. I can think of
I
like, you
couldn't
know,
mention them.
I have a whole bunch.
dropping a drink and like it's spilling like during the quietest part of the movie.
Yes.
Like that's happened before. I know that's happened before.
That happens a lot. Like when you think like where you're eating like one of those times maybe where I was eating nachos and I'm enjoying the nachos and then suddenly it goes quiet and
real fucking loud.
oh shit.
Loud
Who's that
eater.
guy eating nachos?
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you a funny experience, and this will be super quick. Our senior year, they decided to take us to the movies, and we went to go see
Oh.
The Pianist. The Pianist.
Yeah.
The what? Oh, The Pianist. Okay,
The
okay.
Pianist. Adrian
Great
Brody.
movie.
World War II. You know, I mean, like it's. So we didn't know. So we took a bunch of fucking cagapalos, you know, dumb kids fucking around. You know, we all go and we're like laughing and joking around and throwing popcorn. The movie starts, and you see all this fucked up shit from
Yeah.
World War II, and like dead silent, dude, for like close to 2 hours when the movie came out. I think that's when we all became adults. That fucking moment, it took us like, yeah, we took it. They took us to go see it, and it was just it was a crazy moment because even like the worst pain in the ass kids are like, oh, this is fucked up, wiping tears from your eyes and shit. So yeah, it was a crazy.
That is a
experience.
great movie, by the way. I mean, it's terrible, like obviously the story, but like
Yeah,
such a great movie.
throwing the guy at the wheelchair out the
Oh,
window, out
yeah.
the balcony was fucked up. Yeah.
I know.
I remember watching The Matrix 2, and my foot slipped. I guess somebody had spilled soda or something the showing before, and when my foot slipped, it kicked the chair in front of me, and this person turned around and looked at me, and I was like, I had to apologize because it was.
You should have said, "Hey, I was trying to do the like I was trying to hold the position, the wave, like trying to dodge something, like Neo does."
I remember also during The Notebook. I remember I was on another date. We watched The Notebook, and the wife had died, and you know this girl's looking at me. She's like, "Isn't that so sad?" And I'm like, just munching on popcorn, like, "Yeah, it's fucking terrible." James Garner, shit.
Lost another one, Randall. You lost another one.
I definitely did after that movie. There was one time I watched Boogie Nights. True story. The date walked out during the fireworks scene because it was loud. I don't know if you guys watched Boogie Nights in the theater, but during that fireworks scene in Ray Jackson's house,
Yes.
it was loud as hell.
I picked that scene for one of our
one of our first episodes, right?
Cosmo.
So she walked out. She was like, I guess her anxiety got the best of her. She walked out. She's like, I'll walk back in. This is just too intense. I wish she had walked out during the Dirk Diggler mirror scene because I'm
You're
sure
a
she
big,
was
bright, shining star. Then she looked at you and she just shook her head like, see?
You're like, disappointment. And Wolf of Wall Street, I remember I was in a theater and it was small aisles and I was trying to go to the restroom, but these aisles were very small and I was like, I'm going to hold it, but it's a Martin Scorsese movie. You're going to be there for half the day. So I'm waiting and I'm getting up and like, I'm like trying to get through this bigger woman's laps and I couldn't get through and she would refuse to stand up. So I was basically like sitting on her lap trying to scooch down the aisle like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you're not getting up. So
you were like Demi Moore in striptease.
you know, I have a whole bunch here. During Creed 2, we went to go visit my family in the Valley, and my cousin was babysitting my son, and she told us, go on your date night. I purchased the tickets online earlier. So we go to Creed 2. It's assigned seating, And a couple comes in and says, "You're sitting in our seats." I was like, "No, these are our seats. Look at the." And the guy goes, "Look, you picked it for the wrong day. You're showing this tomorrow." And I was like, "Crap!"
Oh,
so
shit.
we ended up watching that zombie movie, The Overlord or The Warlord, the one with Kurt Russell's kid. And I remember going to the lobby. Overlord, which was a great movie. My wife hated it, but it was a great movie.
I loved it. I liked it a lot.
So I went to the lobby to go get tickets for that. I'd seen a friend in the lobby who I hadn't seen in like 20 years. And the first thing was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh man, you wouldn't believe." It's like, when you're down from the valley, you haven't seen somebody in 20 years and you're telling them about an embarrassing experience. It's like you hadn't seen them in a day. So that was kind of embarrassing. I went to a movie premiere of The Alamo, the Billy Bob Thornton movie. Yeah. And the extras were in this post-movie party. It wasn't Billy Bob Thornton or any of the big stars, Dennis Quaid or whoever came out in that movie. It was the extras. They were walking around this party with like their Alamo gear on. And I just felt so embarrassed for them. Like, nobody knows who you guys are. I mean, why are you guys walking around this party like you're
asshole, right?
And then lastly, this was recent. So last week, my wife and kids went to go visit my brother-in-law, her brother, and I had to work. So I worked on a Saturday, and I was, tired. I went to this sort of mixer for faculty at the college, and we had a couple of drinks. I came home, and I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. So I go to a steakhouse. I'm eating, steak by myself at the bar. I had a couple of drinks, and I thought, you know what? I want to go watch a movie. And I look, and Deadpool and Wolverine is playing at 10:15. I go, okay, I feel okay. I go to the theater. I sit down. I'm watching the commercials, and my eyes start getting super drowsy. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
So I go and I get a popcorn and a soda, popcorn and a soda. I'm not hungry because I just ate this big steak and potato. I had a couple of beers. So I'm sitting there trying to like stay awake. It's 10:15 and they finally start showing the previews. And these previews go on forever. They're like 20 minutes. It's like another movie where James McAvoy is playing a psychopath. I'm like, get to the movie. I'm sleepy as hell, And so they finally start the movie like at 10:45 and I fell asleep like for 10 minutes and I'm like, oh shit, Chris Evans is in this movie. And when I reach when I reached for my soda, I dropped it, and I remember somebody like shouted out, "Oh, that's tragic." Anyway, I got up. I had to watch the movie standing up because I was so tired that I could not. And luckily, there was only about 7 people in the whole theater, so I stood up.
Who's standing up? Oh, the weird guy that tragically dropped his soda.
That goes to show that at this age, we can't do the midnight. Well, at least I can't. I can't do the midnight movie anymore. I'm too tired.
It's not worth it to do that type of shit.
Remember, we
wait till see it tomorrow.
We used to watch it. We used to go to Whataburger or Denny's and talk about the movie.
Yeah, I'd rather go at like the first showing at 10 a.m. than go to a showing at 10 p.m. at night.
Yep. Can't do it anymore.
Yeah, fucking old. We're old. It's over.
So, guys, great topic. Your last thoughts on movie theater snacks or movie theaters in general?
Keep it simple. Unless you got like a bunch of kids with you, then I guess you gotta have to. Well, but no, even
then you shouldn't go in the first place.
Yeah, who wants to give their kids a bunch of candy and whatnot? So you keep it simple for them too. It's situational based, like we all said. Like, hey man, if you're comfortable with each other, then have at it. Get what you both want. But of course, obviously, popcorn is a go. Like, I mean, it's just the standard. It's a go thing. I don't know who back in the day. I mean, they've been doing popcorn at theaters since as far back as we can remember, right?
Since the Mayans, yeah.
So it is what it is.
Oh man, I'm just glad theaters didn't go down during COVID. Remember, it was like we were hoping that they wouldn't shut them all down, and everything started live streaming. Like you could get it, like they would just release them straight to to a streaming service. I'm glad that you can go in and still experience these things, man. There's a lot of nostalgia with going to the movies and sitting down and getting your popcorn and just kind of enjoying the experience, because it's an experience, man. So I think that I'm glad it's still around. It's one of my favorite things to do of all time. Having great snacks is makes it a whole lot easier. I just wish they weren't so damn expensive nowadays, man. But other than that, I mean, it's a great experience, and I'm glad I get to take my kids, and hopefully it's still around for them so they can take theirs or they can go on dates and shit like that later. So yeah,
it's insane how, I guess in a way, movies are an escape. You're sitting in a room full of strangers in an AC, dark room. Your escape is not only what you're watching in the movie; it's also the snacks that you're enjoying. So you get the popcorn, you get the soda, you get whatever it is that you like, the candies. And I think you put it perfectly earlier, Joseph. You're just in another world for 2 hours where nothing matters. It doesn't, your job and all your stresses and worries. And I think when you associate that food that you don't get to eat all the time and that experience where you're sitting in a dark room, you're enjoying this art form, it just gives you so much joy. For me, movies have always been something I love to do. I know movies aren't a great first date, but I've always liked to go to movies on dates. I always recommend it because I could always tell the kind of person I'm going to, hang out with if they liked this movie and I didn't or whatever. But it's just an enjoyable thing. And I think as for snacks, indulge, right? Eat your popcorn, drink your soda. You don't get to go too often. Relax a little bit. If that's your cheat day, then shit, do it. Right.
Before we go, now that we can select seats, where are your seats? I'm just curious. Where are you picking? I like to select in the middle, that row that has like the railing, so there's like a larger, wider walkway. Even though so when people in front, that's where I select my seats.
I usually like sitting where they have the rail so you put up your feet.
Yeah, around that rail too. So if you can reach it, put your feet. But are y'all like? Because some people you talk to them, they want to sit way up on the top. I was like, that's not the best view of the.
You just don't want to climb the stairs.
I like the edges,
You like the edges?
Yeah, quicker to the restroom.
Okay, all right, yeah, I got you.
I mean, you're drinking. I'm a 40-year-old man drinking root beer. I probably should be as close to a bathroom as possible. Have you ever been in at a movie where you were sitting in the first 2 or 3 rows?
I have but long time ago. Nowadays, I would never do that. I'm not gonna fucking sit with my head tilted back looking up.
Yeah, your fucking neck will be screwed up for a week after that.
Fuck that.
I remember the last time I saw a movie where I sat in the first 2 rows was Paranormal Activities.
Oh, great.
And I was jumping up from my seat, so I never heard from that woman again. I need a man to protect me. So not a good look for me. But yeah, those front few seats, I can't do them. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck no.
Yeah. So guys, excellent episode. I honestly thought we would do a half hour. Here we are, an hour and 5 minutes in, and by the time this is edited, it'll probably be closer to 45 or 50 minutes. But we did a whole hour on movie snacks. We could do it. We could talk about anything. Next week we'll talk about. We'll talk about remote control batteries or power tools or something. I think we could do it all at this point.
They should be included in everything, goddammit.
If I'm buying the product, give me the fucking batteries.
Great talk, guys. And that's our show, everyone. Listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up and let us know what your favorite movie snack is. Most importantly, let us know what you think about the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com and follow us on all forms of social media by searching for Formidable Opponents. We want to thank Creative Little Pill for her great artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast platform you're listening to us on. And join us next episode as we debate and discuss Best Disco Song. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh, shit.
So for Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. We'll see you at the movies.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, snacks.
Bye, everybody.